Hi everyone, it's Andy from Hobby Headquarters, and today on Quick Reviews we're going to review 3 new kits that are out. This first one is from Tiger Models, the AMX30 B2. We're also going to do 2 models from TAKOM, the new Chieftain Mark2, as well as the new Chieftain Marksman self-propelled anti-aircraft gun. So let's take a look at them. Okay, let's look at the Chieftain Marksman self-propelled anti-aircraft gun from TAKOM in 35th scale. The first thing we'll look at when it comes to that kit are these 2 pieces come bagged together in one bag. There you got your lower hull and your upper hull. You'll also notice that they've molded the sponsons right onto the sides of here, so one less thing you have to worry about getting lined up properly. I also noticed too, the fit seems to be very, very tight. Excuse me. And goes together real well, at least when I had it lined up. Nice detail on the top here with the louvers. All these extra pieces are all really, really crisp up and through here. Then the next thing, we'll look at the turret. The turret is pretty cool too. This is all molded as one piece as well. And actually there's lots of little rings that go involved into making this piece up. And I was dry fitting them a little while ago, and they all look like they all fit pretty well together. And this part also on the back here for the turret, it's got all the nice little vents and stuff all molded nicely into it. Next after that we'll take a look at are the guns. Now the guns are molded as a half and half type piece. So it might, although the upper wiring right here is molded as solid, so you won't have to mold a seam out of that, but you will have a little bit of a seam on the actual barrel itself. And if you notice here in the front too, they've molded half of the I guess it would muzzle brake or flash suppressor, whatever this is up front here, on half and half. So you have a little bit of a seam on that as well. It won't be too difficult. The tracks are all individual, and they're all pre-cut out. And I was fitting some of those earlier too, and they all look like they fit very well together. Not as tight as the other ones that I showed you on the T55s, because these don't want to stay together as well. But once you put the liquid cement on there, they'll hold together fine. The only other drawback on those is that the individual pads are all separate. So you're going to have a lot of cutting and sanding to get those on. But there again, it's just work. It won't be very difficult at all put together. We'll also take a look at over here the wheel sets. Pull that back a little bit. Once again, TAKOM gives you the individual rubber, and they look like a multi-piece wheel, so you'll build up some nice detail inside of it. The springs are unfortunately hollowed out on the back right here, but once again a minor thing because you won't really see it. But they all look to be crisp. And you've got some of the other sprues on here as well. TAKOM's unusual too. They're one of the few companies, this is just minor, but their sprues are all squares. Every other company I've ever seen always has rounded sprues. It's just funny that they use a square sprue. Won't change anything when you build the model, just something I'd point out to you guys. And then we also have these pieces, the side skirts. And what I really wanted to show you was the barrel out of this that came from the other kit, because you need the side skirt on that. But this is the barrel from the other Chieftain kits, and it looks very, very nice. Now, like I said, it's not part of this kit, but I also plan on reviewing the Mark II as well, so that'll probably come into use on that. Nice moldings on all of the tow cables, and then you also get a couple little bags of clear parts. So that breaks down the Chieftain Marksman. The kit, not too bad on part count. The tracks, like I said, there are a lot of extra parts with having to glue the pad on. It retails for about $70 in the United States, but like I said earlier, if you look around a little bit, you should be able to find it in the high 50s, even mid 50s. So looks like a nice kit, and if you're into British air defense weapon systems, this is definitely the kit for you. Okay, the next kit we're going to take a look at is the Chieftain Mark II, also from TAKOM. The reason I'm showing this one as well at the same time is because it's going to share quite a few of the parts that the Marksman did. Now, the lower hull is actually the same piece, but I noticed that the tops of the the hull here is a different piece, so it's off one of the different marks. The turret itself too, very beautifully molded. Nice crisp detail, and I do like the fact that TAKOM gives you this little vinyl sleeve as the canvas cover for the barrel. It fits in there pretty well. A little super glue will hold it really nicely, and also they put the seam on the bottom, so once you put the barrel in there, you're not going to see it at all, so it'll be easy clean up. And same thing with this. Looks like all these pieces fit pretty tightly. Build up a nice piece. Just like the other kit, the tracks are the same individual blocks that you're going to have to put together on top of the tracks. So a little bit extra work, but they look pretty good. Same thing with the wheels. Individual rubber, like I had told you on the other one. In fact, this is the identical sprue that is in that other piece. Now, when it comes to the barrel, I had shown you that one barrel that came in it, which is very nicely molded, but actually I don't even believe that that is the regular barrel, because there's even another sprue that even has what I even think is even a nicer looking barrel. And they did it's probably gonna be a little bit of a pain sanding out all of the seam on this, especially with all the little straps and all the thermal sleeve on it, but it is very nicely done on it. And I'll just show you some of the other parts real quick in here too, how TAKOM does it. Really nice intricate molding. You got your all the nice inset detail. Smoke dischargers look really good. Just overall, even the machine gun is a nice looking piece. And I didn't take this out of the bag, but you can see real fast too all the little different parts of the basket. Real crisp detailing on it. And you do get a little bit of photo etch in it, and some nice decals, and a nice instruction manual, and also, of course, all the color pieces. So it's pretty much the same kit as the Marksman, obviously with the turret being completely different. But yeah, it's going to share quite a few of the parts in between the two kits. This kit also retails for about $70-something in the United States, but there again, you can easily find them in the $50 range. So it looks like another one that, especially if you're into British armor, this is a definite must-have. Okay, the last kit we're going to take a look at is a new kit from a new company, actually, called Tiger Models. They're out of China, and they're doing quite a bit of new, unusual kits that you haven't seen from any other companies. The first kit we're going to take a look at right here is the AMX30 B2, main battle tank from the French. And to start off, I'll show you some of the parts here. This is of course, the lower hull. Now, it is multiple piece, but when you look at the detail that they've gotten inside of this, I think it's worth gluing a couple of parts together, because they did a really nice job on it. When it comes to the tracks are still on the sprue, so it's a little bit of work and cleanup, but not too bad on it. But if you notice really carefully, they did do nice detail work on the little bolts and things sticking out. The turret itself, very nice as well. Lots of detail. Now this one has all the block applique armor on it. That's why all the little divots are inside of that. And then I'll show you some of this. This is actually pretty cool. This has a lot of the block armor on it, but right here they've actually molded the metal barrel into the plastic. The plastic completely surrounds the part, so the metal barrel's ready to go, just ready to paint. And some of the other block armor there. This is the upper hull. Detail's not too bad in here. One nice thing is this could be a little bit better, but they give you some photo etch to cover it up, and all the grills are included with this kit as well. And when we were talking about barrels a little bit earlier, the machine gun is also a separate piece. Very nicely done too. And just show you quickly some of the other sprues for you to take a look at. It looks like Tiger learned from some of the other Chinese companies to make a good product right out of the gate. All of their products have been selling really well for us, and the kit itself runs for in the $60 range, but there again, you can probably pick one up for on the $50 range after the discounts. And one other sprue I'll show you. This has got the baskets in the front of the front of the turret, in the lower half of the turret. But this just gives you a general idea of what you're looking at with a kit like this. Plus, also you get the metal for the tow cables, some decals, and then of course they have the the rubber grommets and stuff for making the wheels turn. So I just thought I would show you that kit as a quick rundown. I also want to talk to you about a book that's been out for a little bit of time now, and it's from the company Panzerex, who makes all the individual softcover books. This is a hardcover book called Nuremberg's Panzer Factories, a photographic study. And the reason I bring this one up to you is it is such a beautiful book inside with such wonderful pictures. It starts off with just their basic truck manufacturing that they made. Kind of goes to some of the different ones in there. Started going into their tanks. How they did some of the repairs on a lot of tanks, some of the just all different kind of construction photos of it. Plus it goes into real good depth on the Panther, and there's lots of testing pictures of the Panther, really close-ups without turrets on them, and just a really cool book. I started looking at it the other day and was just fascinated by it, especially the factory themselves where they're actually putting it all together and all the parts piled up just left and right. And the book's about $50, and I mean, I kept one to be part of my collection because it's just a wonderful book to look at. And even at the end, it goes into depth of all the actual bombed out photos of the factory after they were hit, which now I can't find, but they're in here. Yeah, here's some of the bombed out photos, and they have overhead views of all the different destruction and chassis that were laying around. Just really precise, crisp photos. They're not some of those grainy black and white that you really have a hard time seeing detail. Just really good book that I would highly recommend for you to pick up. Right. Oops, sorry about the reflection. So I hope you enjoyed this episode of Quick Reviews, and please stay tuned because in the next few days I'll be receiving both the Ming and the Rifle models M1A1 Abrams tanks. Both have the Tusk armor and both look to be very, very nice kits. So I should have those in a few days, and as soon as I get them in, I'll have some review videos out on them. Thanks for watching.